It was the 8th year after the Prophet's migration to Medina. 8 long years of patience, struggle, and unwavering faith. The Arabian Peninsula was changing. Tribe by tribe, heart by heart, the light of Islam was spreading across the sands. But one city, Makkah, still stood apart. The city that had once cast out its own son. The city that mocked the truth and drove out the one who only brought peace. Yet destiny was unfolding. And now the Prophet Muhammad was returning. Not with pride, not with vengeance, but with mercy in his heart and forgiveness on his lips. From Medina, 10,000 believers prepared for a journey that would change history forever. There were no banners of conquest, no cries of war, and only silence, discipline, and purpose. Under the cool light of dawn, they marched across the desert valleys, their footsteps soft against the sand, their hearts steady with faith. Each man remembered the pain of exile, the loss, the waiting. But today was not a day of revenge. It was a day written by destiny. In Makkah, the air was heavy with fear. The Quraysh, once proud rulers, now faced the reality of their broken treaty. They had violated the peace, and they knew their time had come. But the Prophet did not seek blood. He sent a message, one that silenced the entire city. Whoever enters the house of Abu Sufyan is safe. Whoever remains in their home is safe. Whoever enters the sacred mosque is safe. 3 simple sentences that turned a city of fear into a city of surrender. The Prophet's army entered Makkah quietly. No chaos, no arrogance, no destruction. The messenger of Allah rode his camel with his head bowed low, so humble that his beard nearly touched the saddle. Tears glistened in his eyes as he recited words of gratitude to Allah. After years of pain and exile, he was returning, not to take but to forgive. The streets that once echoed with his rejection now echoed with whispers of awe and reverence. Then the Prophet entered the sacred mosque, the heart of Makkah. Before him stood idols, hundreds of them, each one a symbol of falsehood and arrogance. He lifted his staff and struck them down, saying, "The truth has come and falsehood has vanished." Stone after stone fell, the idols shattered, and for the first time in centuries, the Kaaba stood pure again. Then came the moment the world would never forget. The Prophet stood before the very people who had once tortured his followers, those who had tried to end his message. They stood before him, defeated, silent, expecting punishment. He looked at them with eyes of compassion and asked, "What do you think I shall do with you today?" They replied in trembling voices, "You are a noble brother, the son of a noble brother." And then came the words that would echo through all of history. "Go, for you are all free today. No revenge, no blood, only forgiveness." The hearts that once burned with hatred were melted by his compassion. Tears replaced fear, and enemies became believers. That day, Makkah witnessed something greater than conquest. It witnessed the victory of truth over falsehood, forgiveness over vengeance, faith over pride. The idols were gone. The hearts were cleansed, and the city that once rejected him became the center of Islam. As the sun rose over the Kaaba that morning, the Prophet looked upon his people, not as enemies, but as brothers and sisters united in faith. And thus the greatest city on earth was reclaimed, not by the sword, but by mercy. This was not a victory of power. It was a victory of forgiveness.